Hey everyone, welcome to the CaptainDrone YouTube channel. My name is Steve, and in this video we're going to talk about these brand new ready-to-fly planes from FMS. So here I have a T28 and here I have a PA-18, and I'm going to show you them flying in this video, and you're going to want them. Let me begin with the T28. Now, T28 is a military training plane, and this is an excellent representation of that with the paint job and the graphics, and it does have landing gear that is removable. Next, we have the PA-18. PA stands for Piper Aircraft. In other words, it's a Cub, and Cubs fly extremely well. They're really good for beginner pilots. This one as well has graphics, and it even comes with a sheet of stickers if you want to change the graphics, and it does have removable landing gear. Both planes come with a radio, and the radio is a mode 2, at least mine is. You could probably get it in mode 1. Mode 2 just means the throttle is on the left-hand side and drops to the bottom. Both planes also come with a 400 milliamp hour 1S LiPo battery, as well as a USB battery charger. So now let me tell you quickly why you should buy these planes. First off, the price is around $99 US for the entire ready-to-fly kit. Second reason is they are both under 250 grams, even with the battery. They weigh next to nothing. Reason number 3 is they have 3 flight modes. So you have full stabilized flight mode. In other words, the plane's pretty much flying itself. You're just moving it from the left or the right. You're going to see me do that in this video. Then they have semi-stabilized mode. That means the plane kind of flies itself, but it can also do rolls and flips if you wish. And then it has full manual mode, and that's for when you know how to fly an RC plane. Over here, there's a little red button, and when you press that, that is your stunt mode. And you'll see it in this video. You can get this to do loops. You can get it to do barrel rolls. And down here, there's a return to home button. If you press that in flight, this plane, if it's flying away from you, will turn around a nice turn and come back in your direction. Next, I want to show you my maiden flights of both of these planes, and you'll see how cool they are. Now, I have to tell you the following. This plane arrived first. This plane didn't arrive until much later. So when this plane arrived, I took it to the field, I flew it, showed everything that the plane does. And when I got home from flying this plane, well, the delivery guy showed up and delivered this plane. So I thought, well, I got to film this, and I'm not going to do the same thing all over. So I just flew it in the front of my house. Yes, you can fly this in your neighborhood. You're going to see me do that. Anyways, watch all of that and then watch the unboxing. Then come back to me and I'll tell you some more about these planes. This is going to be the maiden outdoor flight of the FMS T28. Now, I can't fly in my parking lot because there's a pile of cars there. There's a cricket game going on, so I have to fly out here in this large open field. But look, grass everywhere. This landing gear is not going to take off on grass. Nope, no way, Jose. So for this flight, I have no choice but to remove the landing gear, so it snaps off easy. I'll just pull each one out, and there we go. You can see all landing gear is off. It is as smooth as a baby's behind, ready to fly. All right, let's get this flying, power on our radio, and leave the left joystick to the bottom. Make sure stability over here, this switches all the way up. Next, we plug in our battery and stick everything inside. There we go. It should only fit one way. Just push it straight down, close the hatch, and we're pretty good. Now, what you do to get your plane set up is you have to put it on flat ground. I have a little bit of flat ground down here. I'm going to let it sit down here. Now, I'll try to do this with my hat cam. Next, to set the return to home, push this button in right here where I have RTH, push it in and push it up at the same time. So in and up, and the tail rudder, as you can see move there, will give you an indication that it works. Then it says lift this throttle to the top and then to the bottom, up and to the bottom. There we go, we're ready to go. If I lift this up now, I should have prop. There we are. Now to fly this baby, I set up the return to home, as you saw earlier. I set it up so it's facing this way towards that soccer net. What I mean by that is that if I fly out this way and hit the return to home, it would come directly back to me. That's how it works. Now, many people that buy this plane are probably total newbies when it comes to flying RC planes, because that's what this is designed for. Or somebody who's been flying planes just to have some fun with a little plane. So if you're a total newbie, you might be better off taking off with the landing gear on from concrete or pavement, because you can keep both hands on the joysticks. But if you have a tiny bit of experience, or you're kind of adventurous, or you have 2 people, one to throw this and one to hold on to this, you can hand launch it. I'm going to hand launch it here, and I'm going to hand launch it underhand. So I'm going to do this, like underhand like this, and just let it go with the prop on, and she'll fly because it's got stability. So I'll stand the way back here. Let me just check the thrust. Oh, it's got plenty of thrust, baby. Probably won't see it too well on my hat cam, so I'm gonna keep it flying extremely close. And in order to keep it flying extremely close, I have to fly it extremely slow. But here we go. Here we go. She goes, and let's bring it back because she's going too far from me. Come on this way. Now my return to home works. I'm just being blinded by the sunlight here. Come around to the right now and bring it closer to me so you can see it in my hat cam. Get it this way. Yeah, just do zigzags back and forth. There we go. Very simple to fly. Once again, designed for beginners, so what do you expect? Of course, it's going to be simple to fly. And this is full stability, and I'm going to show you the return to home. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it slowly this way, and I'm going to go by me and then hit the return to home. Try not to nose it in. Gotta go. Okay, so here we go, and then return to home. I hit the return to home. What's it doing? It's turning. Oh, it turns lightly. See, I'm not holding anything. It's coming back. It's coming back. Ignore that other plane that's flying. Coming back, and there we go. So the return to home works. So this is full stability. She flies well, and I can flick the switch and go to half stability. There's half stability, and whoa, the sun's blinding me. Oh, I'll just show you. You could do flips aerobatics there. I'm doing aerobatics now. You probably can't see it because it's so far away, but I'll go back to full stability, and I'll bring it back to me. So in half stability, you have stability plus the ability to do aerobatics. And then finally, the last one is full manual. And full manual, you have to make sure your plane is properly trimmed out. So let me bring it someplace close so you can see what happens in full manual. Full manual, there's no stability. The pilot's doing all the work. So normally keep it up high. There's full manual. Oh, it's not trimmed out. Did you see what happened? Let me show you that again. It's too tail heavy, watch. Full manual now. She goes up. I'm pushing the nose down. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I'd have to trim it out, and I don't have time to trim it out here. So I would say for newbies, you have stability and half stability. Don't worry about full manual. So now I'm going to show you landing this baby. It's so nice and slow around here. So let me just bring it even closer here. I'll see if I can get it to go super slow around me with all these cameras here. It's pretty close to my head. This is full stability if you're wondering how I'm flying it here. So just keeping the nose up. You can almost make it do an alpha flight. Here, I'll go the other direction so I don't get too dizzy. That's nice, that's nice, that's nice. Okay, and then we're gonna bring it down for a landing. Here we go. See if I can catch it. Whoa! When you catch this, do not catch the prop. So in full stability mode, my first impressions are that even your grandma or grandpa can fly this. It is grandma and grandpa approved. And if you don't know what you're doing, let me explain the following. So in full stability, this is your throttle. You're gonna set it someplace in the center. You don't have to move it up and down too much. And when you fly, you're mostly gonna fly with the right joystick. You go right or left to have it fly right or left. If you want it to go down, press this, it will go into the ground. If you want it to go up, press this. So you're basically flying with this joystick mostly only. Just leave this set someplace in the center or a little bit above center for speed. Now I still have the same battery in here, so what I'm going to try next, since it seems to be quite powerful and the stability is really good, what I want to try next is putting a camera on it. So I'm going to put an Insta360 camera right where the pilot would sit and try to fly it again. Here we go. Now I showed this in every video, but I still get questions for some reason. How do you stick a camera to an RC plane? Well, it's pretty simple. All you do is get yourself some alien tape. You can see it here, alien tape, and it's a clear tape that is double-sided and it's like rubber. It's like a rubbery tape. So you can stick it on stuff, you can stretch it, pulling it. It's really good. If you leave it on something for too long, it's hard to get off. But if you put it on something for a simple use and then pull it off, it comes off easy. Now, all planes have a CG, center of gravity, and I have the battery in this one. And I'm gonna guess the CG, like on most planes, usually there's a bar or a spar, if you want to call it, that goes down a wing. This is usually the center of gravity. So see this little white line on the canopy? That's pretty close to where your center of gravity would be. And that's where you want to put your camera. Don't stick your camera up here or back there. It's going to throw off the center of gravity and your plane will fly like crap. All right, so here my camera, you can see it. I'm looking at it. It's on the top of the plane. It's probably not angled correctly, but it's good enough. So I'm on full stability, lots of power. Here we go. It should fly with the camera. Look at that. So if you do want to stick some small camera on these things, you can. I'm doing it right here. So now I can show you all the footage coming from the camera itself. And let's bring it a little bit closer to me here. Coming right at me. That's my machine gun sound. But I'll just do some low passes here. Coming by. It flies very nice. Now I'm flying it at maybe 40% throttle, 50% throttle. I'll take it up now that I can. I'll go way up in the air. Give it a lot of height up here.
Okay, there, it's got some height. And now I'm gonna do some aerobatics. So I'll put it in the middle position and I can flop it around and do some turns, do a loop. Whoa, that was the worst loop ever. Let's see if I can land it really near me here. It's coming at me, coming at me, coming at me, coming at me. Oh, put it over on the grass over there. Boink. Now, one thing I just realized, I flew that plane doing aerobatics and everything manually. That was me doing it all, but there is a button over here. I forgot all about it. That's your stunt button. That's, if you don't know how to do aerobatics, you press this. So let me fly the plane one more time and press this button and we'll see what happens. Here we go again. This is going to be the third flight. I'm going to launch it. I've taken off the camera so it flies with less weight. I've got it on full stability and we're going to use the stunt button for beginners. Ready? Here we go. Underhand launch. There she goes. I'll slow it down. When I underhand launch it, I give it full throttle. So let's bring it back to me. And then I'll show you some stunts. Now, normally when you do stunts, you have to do them high up in the air, but I'm going to try to keep this within camera range. So here we go. I'm going to press the button and move the joystick, the right joystick. There we go, it's a stunt. And let's try it coming the other way. And press the button and move the joystick. There's a stunt. So that works. And I believe it also does a loop. The loop should be scary. I got to go a little higher. Loop now. And there's a loop. I don't know if my camera caught that. It was pretty high up. Let's try a little bit more in front of me doing a loop. And a loop. There we go. That's pretty cool. Let's try one more just in case I missed that one. Loop. Oh, that was that was not a loop. That was a barrel roll. Try this again. Loop. And up and back down. So I'm not doing any of these stunts. These aerobatic stunts are all done automatically by the plane just by pressing this red stunt button and move the right joystick. There we go, like that. So perfect for beginners. You can have a lot of fun. Here's another one coming close. Oh, I crashed. Now the good thing when you crash is that the propeller flies off. So if you walk over and pick up your plane, always look for your prop because it will not be on the plane, as I'm about to show you here. See, it's off the plane. Your prop is designed to fall off the nose on any landing where the prop touches the ground. That does two things. It saves your prop and saves your motor. PA-18, let's take it for a flight. Okay, put a battery in, power on the remote, move the joystick up and down, and we're set to go. Switch it to stabilized, and I am going to fly this in an area most of you should not. So I've got to go back this way because the wind is blowing in my face here. Do not try this if you're not qualified to try this. All right, so stabilized on. Let's give it a bit of throttle. I'll aim it right at my camera here. This should go up pretty quick. Look at that, right up. And I'll bring it around. Try not to crash into anybody's house. Ooh, got to keep it high. Look at the roofs of the houses up here. Let's go down the street a bit. Probably can't see it in my hat cam, but I'm gonna turn it around. Coming right at me. Coming right at me. Oh, the wind's got it. Over the head, miss the trees, and I'm gonna circle again, way up. Miss all the houses and the trees, going way up in the sky. There we go. So this time I'm gonna land it. I brought it away out there and it's coming back at me. If there's no cars coming at me, then we should be good. I'm reducing the throttle, give it some elevator, and whoa, I crashed over in my neighbor's driveway. So there we go, maiden flight in my neighborhood. I do not recommend you try this unless you have the skills to fly a plane in your neighborhood.
Here we have the box the T28 arrives in. Inside the box you'll find the T28 and accessories. You'll note on the T28 that all the stickers have already been applied. A battery and battery charger are included, as well as a remote. The remote requires 4 AA batteries and they are not included. The remote has a button for stunts and a switch for stability modes. In addition, one of the trim buttons is also the return to home button. A large manual is included, and finally the total weight of the plane is only 53 grams, but when you add the battery it's up to 64 grams. And now turning our attention to the PA-18, here is the box, and inside the box you'll find the PA-18 and accessories. You'll note that only a few red stickers have been applied. This is because you have the option to apply your own blue graphics, and a graphic diagram is included. The kit also includes a battery and charger as well as a radio. A large user manual is also included. And finally, the PA-18 only weighs 53 grams, and when you add the battery, it's up to 63 grams. Now for surface areas, both planes do have ailerons, and both planes do have elevators, and both planes do have rudder.
All right, let's go back indoors to indoor Steve.
All right, so you're back to me and you want me to give you some more information on these planes, like maybe what type of motor does it have? What's the flight time? What's the flight range? Well, I don't know all the information, so I may have to put it on the screen. I've asked FMS to provide that information. So here we go. I can tell you that the motors on here are brushed motors. They are hollow cup motors, so they're quite resilient. You're not going to break them or damage them or anything like that. And I can see when I look in the PA-18 that it is a geared motor. In other words, the motor is spinning a gear to then spin the prop. But as you saw from the video, they're very powerful because you can get these things going quite fast. The next question you probably have is, how much flight time do you get on this little battery? Well, I will tell you it's quite a bit of flight time, way over 10 minutes. I can't tell you the actual time because I don't have the specifications, but I flew the planes for over 10 minutes and the battery was still pretty good. In addition, the radio will start beeping if this little battery gets low. My radio never beeped, so I guess my battery was still good. In addition, if the batteries that you put in this radio get low, it will beep differently and warn you about that as well. So this battery is a 400 milliamp hour battery, and I just want to show you this. Right here I have an 800 milliamp hour battery. It's twice as big as this one. Look at the size. This one fits in the plane, so I just happen to have this. It has the same connector, so that means I should get twice as much flight time pretty much if I use the 800 milliamp hour. If you go on Amazon, you can probably buy these larger batteries. Next, you're probably wondering, what is the flight range between this plane and this radio? Once again, I don't have that information, but I did ask FMS for that information, and I'll put it on the screen now if they got back to me. So with all that said, these planes are now available at many different stores around the world. So I'm going to put tons of links below to all the stores where you can find these for that beautiful $99 price tag. All right, if you have questions on either of these planes, post your questions below and I'll get back to you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that very much. And I will catch you in a future video with many more cool product reviews. Until then, I say bye.